Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's day 3 here of the Quake World Championship. Once again, Rapha joins us. Thanks for joining us yet again, and congratulations on your most recent victory versus VengeurR.
Thank you. I feel really relieved after winning that and making it to the final. And I got to give props to VengeurR. I think he's been super hungry, throughout this year and trying to place better and better. And you can see that in his results from event to event. And I think that is the best that he's played so far. And, he's just a moment or two away in a few games between turning it around for himself. So, if he just keeps at it, he could eventually be a champion within the next year or two.
Well, let's talk about that series. Go ahead. I mean, hey, it's not very often a player will just be like, I'd like to take my time to just compliment the hell out of VengeurR. A lot of people have, and I think that that's quite awesome of you. But let's talk about it in relation to this match, because you went up really quick, 2-0, and then it wasn't until Blood Covenant where VengeurR took that first map. But when you're up 2-0. Do you feel like you've got a little bit of breathing room to work with, knowing that you're in a best of 5?
Yeah, I think sometimes when you're up like that, you might be able to take an extra chance or two to try to put the third game away. You know what I mean? Like, you might take an aggressive approach at, let's say, the 2 or 4 minute mark, that if the series were tied, you might not. But sure. I think he played phenomenally on the map. Like, there are so many times where he was railable, but then he would hit the shot and he'd be able to get away, and his positioning was really good. It made it very difficult for me to try to get back into the game. And I think the part where it kind of broke the game open was where he stood his ground at heavy, and I was pretty stacked coming through, and I was just afraid if I went through too fast, he might be able to get away, but I should have advanced with Slash up there, and he managed to take advantage of my mistake, and he turned the game around for himself there.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because we were talking a little bit about it and feeling like that was the turning point for VengeurR during that matchup. What would you go back, you're in the same position, you get to redo that battle completely. What did you need to do in order to actually, get the frag there?
Yeah, I think just with the, I just didn't want to take a direct rocket and get bounced up. But in reality, I think you just have to take advantage of what Slash brings to the table. It's like if you're playing Sorlag, you always try to utilize Sorlag's movement and rocket jump boosts and stuff like that, because if you're not, why would you play that champion? You should use it to its maximum capabilities. And so in that situation, I should have, went a little bit faster and maybe serpentined up the stairs and went wide to give myself more, of an angle for the fight. But yeah, I decided to try to stick close to dodge the rockets, but he held firm, which was the right decision in that case. So yeah, it worked out for him.
And then final question, as we then went on to the 4th game, Ruins, definitely very exciting game to watch, some back and forth there. It did look like VengeurR was starting to build up some momentum. So at some point you kind of switched gears a little bit, it seemed, from aggressor to more of the, I don't know if I'd call it passive, but certainly playing a little bit more shielded. Can you talk about that 4th game just a little bit? Yeah,
he did a good job when he was in control, when he swung it back his way, to where I couldn't just, even with dual wield, bully my way on the item, because he was saving the turret to try to use it to block my entrance, so that I'd have to deal with that first and then him. So, and he was hitting his shots. So at that point, it's like, okay, now I'm too weak to fight for heavy or mega. So I just have to give it up, and I have to try to play the cutoff game, try to delay him, and he was just doing a good job of reading where I would be, what I would try to play for. And just fortunately, when it was 5-4, I found a good moment to catch him with dual wield near the heavy pad. And, he wisely decided not to go for it, because if he did, he might have taken 2-3 direct rockets, and I'd just chase him down for a kill anyway. But after that, I got full control. And sometimes players near the end of the game, when there's a minute 30 left, they're really stacked, and the other player's 100 to 150 health, and they'll kind of give them space. But sometimes giving them that space allows them the opportunity to come back in. And I just felt it was best, since he wasted his turret at the last heavy that I had gotten at the 9 minute mark, that I should just all in him at the upper armor, because he's stuck there. He can't go anywhere. And I'd rather like take my chances being, 300 plus health with my ability than, just potentially letting him get back into the game. And it worked out, and I was able to run out the clock from there with a 2-frag lead.
Well, great series, Shane, and congratulations on making it the first player into the grand final. You will go up against one of the other 3 players still remaining, whether that's VengeurR, Razy, or DeHang. But take some well-deserved rest, and we will see you in the grand finals a little bit later. Congratulations yet again, and good luck.
Thanks, Marcus. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome.